What is up, guys? It is your boy GRC. We're coming at you live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. You want to see something cool? This is a decentralized perpetual DEX called famous.io that Testnet launched. You can now long and short your favorite cryptocurrencies on the Testnet on a decentralized. And I have to ask Sam about this shit. Like, I got it. Sam, this is like your territory, but it's Testnet, so he doesn't carry it. But like, I'm telling you, decentralized DEX for leverage trading, Sam. So think about it. You can hold your keys, hold your coins, and maybe you can short some of those cryptos that you think are rug pulls, potentially. Maybe you can, and you know, Sam, I'm learning a lot about shorting and how it can actually benefit systems. So that's what I'm learning, right? So like, I know that's probably common practice for people that have done it, but I don't necessarily leverage trade, nor do I necessarily care, but I do like earning money on volume. And what do I have noticed lately? If you go to gate.io and you look at the trade volume, Sam, remember how excited you were about the trade volume? We have to talk about this. There's more trade volume on gate.io than there is on Uniswap for Zen for yesterday. So those numbers you saw, there's more on gate.io. What? I saw this yesterday. I was on with Jack. I was like, excuse me? He's like, the floor price actually gets set over here because there's more dense liquidity. And I was like, Jesus, Lord, have mercy on my soul. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about today, guys. I'm not going to bring up any of the FUDsters. I'll say one point on it all. If you are begging for money after a 10,000X, you're a pleb. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't care. But I don't hate anyone either. Like, people go through shit. I don't want anyone to suffer. So if they need to do all this shit to make sure they're okay come tax season, go ahead. But I don't really think that. Richard always told me to be embarrassed of that. And I was scared because I was like, Richard's like, if you beg for money on the internet, you're the biggest loser in the history of the universe. And I was like, oh, for sure. So I don't do any of that. But all the day one Hexicans do it. It's like, I don't get it. Not all of them, but some of them. I'm confused. I'm confused about the narratives. But guys, I just want to move forward. Sam, learn about these tools. Learn about these things. I can't sit here all day and talk about the emotional back and forth of crypto Twitter. Like, that's not what I want to do here. I want this to be a place for intellectual integrity. And that's what it is for me. Like, that's what I want this to be. Like, this is my time to shut up, do some reading and talk to Sam. So guys, we're going to get into it. We're going to be talking about the BNBP dashboard that came out that I really like. The famous.io. Me and Sam are going to read through some of the specs. I really want Sam to pay attention to the specs and the notes on the page so we can figure out if this is is this the best option, right? For certain reasons, right? Like, is there a reason that I would want to be on here rather than a centralized exchange or rather than Uniswap? Would I rather be on famous.io? So it's an interesting concept. But dude, I like Buck. So and he's like, tell Sam, he'll get it. He'll catch it. And I'm like, okay, we'll do this. And Sam, at 4, you have no choice. 4 to 5 p.m. we're doing a pre-recorded show with Buck. That's today. So we're doing that today. We have to do that. I'm kind of telling myself to. So crypto in the morning, every single day, smash the like button, smash it all, guys. Let's get into the weeds. Let's learn. It's the bear market. It's a great time to be focused on the details because right now you could be on the sidelines and be making a really good decision by being just in that position. So it's a great time to just be focused if you can be while all the kids are running around. Crypto in the morning, every single day, smash the like. Let's get.
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hacks and I'm making a state. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim ready sent me to show you the way.
D5 Pro.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
That'll be a good show with Buck and of what's going on with their project. Because when you have the famous DEX, right, that came out, the Testnet that came out that we're going to take a look at. And when you were doing your preview on there, by the way, how your haircut looks sharp. If there's the opportunity to provide liquidity on there, I think that a lot of people are missing the boat on liquidity. I talk about this all the time, but I just feel
You're
like
literally like a cuckoo broken clock.
dude,
People hit me up and they're like, "We hate you guys because you talk about liquidity too much," and I'm like, "Dude, I get it. I get it.
I think
It's
but
annoying.
I swear,
We're learning from the bottom layer, so we're kind of learning all these things. It's not that it's the most important concept to us. It's just that we were maybe naive about some of these DeFi pools before, and now you're learning a lot about them, and you're just like, wow, you can earn a lot of money being the on volume. You know, the exact thing what did Richard say for years? You can't earn money on volume. Well, Richard earns money on volume. Sam Stolt earns money on volume. I earn money on volume, and I think it's been one of the things in crypto that's kept me here. For real. Like, dude, come on. You know that it's hard for me to like care about some of this shit sometimes because I want to keep going and I know it gets tough sometimes. So I don't care about all that. But this is the real deal. And I can't even put it down. Like, I'm like, it's the real deal. Like, this is the real deal. You can change anyone's life in moments. And that's with understanding and focus and knowledge. And this is something that's not preached.
If you look back at any civilization in history, there's always been somebody that was gatekeeping to the market, right? Whether that market here in the United States was to voting, right? Women couldn't vote, black people couldn't vote. Whether it was to marriage, right? Gay people couldn't be married, right? Whether it was investments and you had to be an accredited investor, which means you had to have money. There's always an arbiter. There's always a gatekeeper that keeps people from the marketplace. So when you don't have a gatekeeper, what happens? Everybody can enter the marketplace and the best thing wins eventually, right? So this is what's happened.
All right, Sam. So what are you trying to say, buddy? What are you trying to say? Okay, well, I know how to switch this. Look, remember we looked at this yesterday? Let's look at the same thing today. And then now your segment kind of had something to do with this. You see indicators between the volume, between the liquidity, and between the transactions per day. You are smart, and it's not that hard. I know what me and Sam are kind of on the same wave with that. We don't look much as the price now. You look more at the volume to liquidity to transaction ratio on whatever chain it's on, and you can get a lot more information from that. So Sam, yesterday we all heard your piece. Why don't we take a freshy look at this? And we see, and I just pulled this up for the first time. I swear I have not looked at any of this stuff, nor have I traded on any of it, nor do I really give a shit. I think it's all going down, except ETH is holding up like a young man's erection. I was thinking of something. So what do we got here? Hex, WETH, Hex USDC right here. So what are we seeing, Sam? What do you see comparatively? Remember, we looked at Zen USDC and then maybe Hedron USDC as well.
When I'm looking at these, so like if I want to pick a pair to provide liquidity in, I want to provide liquidity in a pair that has a lot of volume, but also has less people involved in it. And because you could try to provide liquidity because it has a similar metric as Zen here between, say, USDC and Ethereum. And it could be very profitable, but I don't think it's going to be as profitable as multiple percent that you earn per day. And it's the ratio between the volume and the liquidity. Something above 1 there's probably going to be very profitable. Something below 1, not going to be as profitable. What do you mean when you say ratio above 1 and below 1? If you take the volume in USD between any pair and you divide it by the liquidity, is that number a 1 or greater, or is it a less than 1, right? So go back to that last chart there for a second. Let's do this. Is the ratio between Hex and wrapped ETH greater than 1 or less than 1? So there's 1.1 million here, right? So we're going to take 1.1 million divided by 1.9 million. That is a 0.57, right? So that is below 1. The only one that's above 1 in this chart here is Zen.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it. That kind of cleans it up while you're thinking.
Makes it super easy.
More than below 1, yeah, because that's all you're doing in your head. But it's nice to know the number that you're like. I know what you're saying. That's the better way to think about it. It's just a ratio. Once it crosses over that ratio, it's doing well rather than doing not well in that moment.
And it does, and I don't think that it will sit above 1 all the time, but also it could be so like Ethereum and USDC is above 1, but that pool is also $150 million. So like if you put in 20 grand, you are the dust on the floor of like the banquet hall. Like you could still be profitable, but it's going to be more impactful for you if you are the biggest player in the small room, at least to start with, and move forward. So that's how when you see that, I've actually made some changes since yesterday.
Well, good. I don't even want you to tell them because they just call me and bitch about it. They don't call Sam. So if you shut your mouth, literally. Like they're like, you guys are doing this stuff. I ain't doing shit, bro. I've been picking my ass for 2 days straight looking at these white papers. So I don't know what you're talking about. Literally, and they'll be having like Sam did a video on something, and somehow it's just in my brain what exactly occurred 3 hours before in Sam's solo live stream. Like I was asleep. Like, I don't know. But anyway, Sam, before we get going, this is a good thread, and I wanted to touch on this. We haven't been touching on this, and we're going to touch on Famous and BNBP. If you guys stay in here, I want biceps in the chat too. And if you enjoy this content, check it out. I mean, just say what's up in the chat, hit the like button, do all that stuff. Send me all your money. Okay. WBTC depegging, Sam. This is Look On Chain. 64.2 thousand subscribers looking for smart money on chain. Kind of just a little researcher guy. Affected by the Alameda/FTX crash, WBTC began to show signs of depegging on November 10th. And WBTC depegged to 0.9852 on November 25th. That means it went over the 1-to-1 ratio as far as to Bitcoin, but don't look at the chart to figure that out because there's a bunch of little stupid factors that they throw in there. Thread about what happened to WBTC. No FUD. This is direct FUD. What is WBTC? Wrapped Bitcoin is an ERC20, but backed 1-to-1 with Bitcoin. WBTC standardized Bitcoin is to the ERC20 format, creating smart contracts for Bitcoin. Mint, WBTC, users send 1 BTC to merchant, merchant sends 1 PTC to custodian for storage, custodian sends 1 WBTC and sends 1 blah, blah, blah. You guys kind of understand this. If you don't, I can explain it more. He's trying to just do the thread right. Okay, so it shows you all that stuff, right? Let's scroll down. So why is WBTC depegging? There are 2 main reasons. Alameda has minted over 101,000 WBTC and is the largest merchant, centralized and garbage. And on November 24th, WBTC redemption. I was waiting for that sneeze for a while, man.
It might make sense to go back and read number 5 when you look at number 4 there, right? Or that point that you were just looking at. Around the redemption piece, because it will give people context. I don't know which number it might be.
Like up here? Should I maybe just go through all of them?
Yeah, just go through them. Just because I think it's going to give people context.
All right, my bad. I didn't want to take too much time, but let me do that. You're right. I don't even know all that stuff, so it's important. So we'll start at number 3. Mint WBTC. User sends 1 BTC to merchant. Merchant sends 1 PTC to custodian for storage. Custodian mints 1 WBTC and sends 1 WBTC to merchant. Then merchant sends 1 WBTC to user. Burn WBTC. User sends 1 WBTC to merchant. Merchant sends 1 to custodian. Custodian burns 1 and sends 1 in his storage to merchant. Then merchant sends 1 Bitcoin back to the user.
0.4. So the 0.4 is the one that we're going to talk about in a
middleman. It's just the longest middleman cock in crypto, they call it. That is a lot of not my money. Lots of triangles going around here. None of them my money, except this little line right here. There's one little line where I have, and oh yeah, I'm sending it away. So I got to send my real money to them, get the fake money, and then SBF blows it up. But BTC is centralized exchange trading token. It is not a peer-to-peer cash. It is not decentralized as far as the units per user at all, which is what it was kind of made to do because no one knew what the fuck was going on for 13 years now. So everyone that was doing it was a certain type of person. It's extremely centralized. You find that most of these guys were there in the beginning, whoring this shit like it was their last jelly bean. And now that all this stuff happened after that, now they're just going to use it as leverage and destroy everyone. And it's all about trust. And if I need to trust it, I'm out.
I think that when we get to, I think it was 0.7 or something in a second, there's probably going to be an issue here with the third party D, right? Completely get it. But there's probably going to be an issue here. I don't know how big the issue is. I haven't read through this. This is the first time I'm seeing this. But when you understand how the process works, it's pretty easy to see where the weak link is going to take place. Like you're like, that looks like that's going to be the problem here. Number 5, you're muted.
All right, number 5. Therefore, as long as the BTC kept by the custodian is enough to redeem the WBTC, there is basically no possibility of the WBTC crashing. 6, there are currently 225,000 WBTC in total, and the custodians currently hold 228,734,000 BTC, which is enough for redemption. And you can verify that the BTC kept by the custodians through the address on chain. So I'm not going to click on that, but we're just going to trust that that's chill. And we'll give it a little likey poo, just like you should do below. So why WBTC depegged? There are 2 main reasons. Alameda has minted over 101,000 WBTC and is the largest merchant. On November 24th, WBTC redemption was crowded and the redemption was delayed. Alameda minted 101,746,000 WBTC and only burned 29,435,000 WBTC. It is just FUD. Alameda is a merchant, not a custodian. And the only initiate the process of minting / burning wrap tokens and wrap tokens. When WBTC minted through Alameda, can still be redeemed through other merchants.
So in the middleman D portion, right, it was the user, and then they deal with a merchant, and then the merchant sends the stuff to a custodian. So in this case here, it looks like Alameda was the merchant, right? So they are effing up. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there is going to be an issue. If you look at how that process works, think of it as like a bridge. You just have Bitcoin on one side. Once you cross over the bridge, now you have wrapped Bitcoin. That process of actually going through there is going from you to the merchant. The merchant takes your shit and sends it to a custodian. The custodian sends back wrapped BTC, and then they send that to you. So I don't know, is that, if you go back to the tweet series, is it all a bunch of FUD, or is there actually going to be, I think it was 7.7-ish.
I can't believe I was scrolling my Twitter without even realizing that it was sharing.
I've done that before.
I'm sorry.
Let's get back to here. You're good. Next time I'll take it down as soon as we
get
it, so people don't see that you're looking at gay porn.
No, you're good. It doesn't matter. Nobody sends me money anyway. I wish they would so I could be sketched out.
Yeah.
I want someone to send me a big fat stack so I can get paranoid, all right? About the SEC. So send it.
On November 24th, wrapped Bitcoin redemption was delayed more than 24 hours. Wrapped Bitcoin holders fear that they will not be able to redeem and choose to sell their wrapped Bitcoin. So the price of wrapped Bitcoin drops and is seriously depegged from BTC. Go to number 10 here. Scroll down a smidge. Perfect. Let's see how this ends. Number 10 here. However, the redemption of wrapped Bitcoin has returned to normal at the present, and the latest redemption record shows that it took less than 2 hours. So the other thing about this process is that, like, it takes 2 hours. So you're like, okay, cool. Let me go back through this bridge effectively to unwrap your Bitcoin, and it takes 2 hours to do that transaction.
I would rather put a pellet gun in my rectum and shoot it. then I'm too neurotic, dude. I'm telling you, guys like me cannot wait 2 hours for shit, especially when it's on the computer, sitting right there. Like, what is it doing? Like, what the fuck? 2 hours, you're gonna make me 100% paranoid for the rest of the month. Every time I do a transaction, because I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I gotta do a little transaction today. No worry. I'm a crypto guy, right? Like if I'm moving Bitcoin, like that's a big deal, right? So, I'm gonna dox myself and wait 2 hours and then just like forget about what's going on. And then I'm like, oh no, not organized, not quick enough. That's why I'd rather drive to the bank because at least I can do it right then. It's about doing it right then. There has to be some piece that you're doing it right in the moment. Because I'm telling you, the first time I ever sent Bitcoin anywhere, I was scared to death for the rest of my life. And I just never did it again. Because I had no clue what the fuck was going on. I was like, it's all gone. It was $4,500 at the time, Sam. And it was like over a Bitcoin.
I actually just had to send a message because I was supposed to send some Bitcoin for 11 a.m.
Tell him to get a little holiday vacation in before it comes because
let me send a quick text message to tell him I did not send it before 11. Let's go on to point number 11 here.
Imagine sending Bitcoin once and then never sending it again as a new user who doesn't know what's going on because you're scared. Adoption. Number 11. Chen B. Fang, COO of BitGo, custodian of WBTCs, responded that the delay in the WBTC redemption is due to the update of the website, Sam. Website update. Things got bugged out, okay? Whales sell WBTC due to panic. Address collected his WBTC in various addresses and transferred them all to Gate.io. That's Gate.io is where $527,000 in trading volume happened for Zen yesterday. So that's
what is that a I don't know anything about
it's
that.
a centralized exchange.
I have a friend that has like money on there and he doesn't know how to get it off of there.
Oh, if you don't know crypto, it can be weird. But like why does he have money on there? Okay, let's talk about him.
He didn't know until we started talking to him about like
I see. If he's new, that would make sense, kind of, because you have to do a couple things. It's just weird. If you like this thread, like and retweet it. Follow, look on chain, and turn on notifications for alpha information. Okay. So Sam, let's just summarize that. Just give him a quick summary. Like, is it just garbage, or is it not just garbage?
I mean, if the information is accurate that the custodian has 228,000 BTC up against 225,000 wrapped Bitcoin, and the custodian actually has those and there's no leverage on them, they're not like taking that 228 and then using that as collateral to borrow more money, then there's going to not be any issues here. I think this is just a like FUD or people who are scared. Remember, the easiest people who you can control are people who are scared. So if you're trying to sell something to somebody, that's good to know. You can focus on what they want, or you can focus on what they really don't want. And fear is easier tactic to control somebody. Right?
Oh, so yeah, because it just consumes them rather than positive emotions just fade away.
Yes.
But fear consumes people for very long durations of time to the point where they are no longer critical thinkers at all. Like it's like when a guy gets
that's really accurate.
A guy gets broken up with for the first time and you're talking to him as a dude who's been broken up with a bunch, you're just like, just go home, you dude.
The ability to critical think when you're scared though is like a seesaw. So if you're on this seesaw, and if scaredness goes up, your ability to critical think drastically drops. And a perfect example of this is the world wearing diapers on their face for the last 36 months, right? Like you don't have to look this far to understand what I'm saying is accurate, right? Period. End of story. On to the next topic, which we're going to get into right now. That's a good point, dude.
Yeah, and if you can, what do military men do? They train themselves under duress, so they're no longer worried about duress. To a degree, you have to. If you are worried about losing all your money, you will probably lose all your money. I don't care about losing all my money because who the fuck cares, bro? Like it's if you're working every day and doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're fine. You're fine. There's people in prison doing better than you, buddy, with the funds. And seriously, Sam,
I agree.
Sam, it's crazy. Like with a little bit of effort, you can really outpace just about a good majority of people. And that's enough to have a good little living at a minimum, I think.
If
At
you
a
have
minimum.
if you have access to the internet and you're in jail, think about like what an alpha move is. You can run a whole business from jail where they give you 3 meals a day. You get time to work out. You get time to see a pastor if that's your thing, and you get all this like room and board.
And you
for
get
free.
narcotics, and you can sell
And you get narcotics
pieces of metal for $10 from the wall. So
and it's you're not going to get stabbed or shot. Oh, actually, I take that back. You might get stabbed. But,
you can get shot too, tower guards. But anyway, let's look at this real quick. The truth is that if you're begging and whining and crying about money, it's because you didn't set yourself up properly. I feel like if a lot of these guys just wrote off their losses on their taxes, they wouldn't even worry so much. I swear to God, I'm learning about all this stuff, and I'm like, wait a second, down 99%. Let me do some quick maths. Quick maths, as we call it, for the year, down 99% for the year, right? You write it off. Figure it out. Do better. It's not even hard. Even if you're lazy, dude. I'm pretty lazy with shit, and I pay for people to do stuff that I should totally do myself. And I still don't think it's that hard.
And I apologize for taking this off track for a second, but it's on to what you're saying. If people go through, and if you're watching this or listening to this, try this out. If you go through and you take a piece of paper and on there you write down the 10 issues or frustrations or problems in your life, the top 10 things that come to mind, right? Whether that's, maybe you're having issues in your relationship with your wife or girlfriend because
I think that's the big one. I think that's 50% of them.
Right. Or maybe it's with your job, right? Or maybe it's because of driving to your job, or maybe it's something else. And these 10 issues, like, try this out. The top 10 issues, the vast majority of them can all be solved by you making more money. Go get money. And you can solve all of these top 10 issues, right? So that can be, you can cut expenses, but that can only go so far, right? And then you got to focus on getting more money. You get more money, and those top 10 issues for the vast majority of people solved, right? Your job is an issue. Cool. Fucking leave. If you have more money, it's solved, right? Your wife wants to do something and you're like, I need to save and invest. Cool. Make more money. Then she can do what she wants and you have more money.
No, you got to leech off of others that have some sort of funds. That's the only way. No, it's not. The only way is to have a mission. It's very clear when a man has a mission and he's on it. And now men can fall on and off of that. It happens, guys. Let's be real. But if it's a real important mission, if it's sometimes the mission gets a little sloshed because people get bored, but sometimes it's time for battle. And like, if you're ready to leave now, come on. I got grown men calling me crying about all my shit while their best friends beg for money. And I have never asked for money. Ever. Because I was scared to. I probably would have. But Richard said everyone who begs for money is a fucking loser. And I was like, dude, that makes sense. I'm going to just do that because I don't want to get like bad press. But that's what I believe. And it's just like, oh, things change. But anyway, one of my favorite things in this bear market has been this, Sam. 100%. This is without a doubt. This has been one of the best, most awesome, most highlighted things that I've experienced in the bear market.
So tell us why is this something that you're like, this is the
product market fit.
Why? So talk to us about product market fit and why is this product market fit? Why is this thing product market fit? What's so special about this?
So if you see here, guys, where I'm from, I'm an East Coast boy, bunch of rich buddies that, work in finance and do a bunch of bull crap, drink a lot, kind of stuff like that. And what do I see, Sam? Now, this is not my jive, Sam. I'm an addict by nature, so I am either on or off. You know that. Most people probably don't. But Sam knows. Like, Sam will hit me up, say something, and I'll have to explain to him where I'm at with it. But I think about these things. So I don't like to gamble too much. But, with 186% premium, come on, I'm only a man. But look, as you can see here, every dollar that goes in, the BNBP value will be $30, but generally people just bet BNBP. But in the beginning,
Well, maybe to bring it back to zero real quick, so people.
Okay, sorry. Can you ask me questions?
What is first of all, real quick? What is BNBP?
Oh, BNBP is a decentralized gambling thing. So all sorts of gambling here. So
when you says 186% premium, tell people what that means.
So basically, there's one game out right now. Sorry. I don't have this is my new computer, so every time that it tries to connect, it kind of F's up because I don't have any MetaMask or anything. But anyway, so I'm going to pull it back up. But basically, if you use the dollars from the BNBP rather than any of the other coins listed, which would be right here. Oh, I can't look at it. There's like 20 coins listed. You get a better premium on this exact game. But that's not exactly what I'm excited about. That creates action in the game. But if you go down here, Sam,
I got mine.
I got it. Staked, Sam. What do we see here? 76.60% of the supply is staked, Sam. And it's locked in there for 100 days, Sam. So from whenever the first day you do it. I like those kind of metrics. You know me, I'm not a huge number pincher, but 76% is a lot. And I know how much that I have. So, but what do other people have, right? So here we go. You see all of these different stakes. Obviously, you can assume some have some, the OA and the devs and some of the guys that got in early on the sacrifice are going to be some of the bigger wallets. But generally, you're going to see people in a range that moves fair. But these are stakes, Sam. People are earning money every time this jackpot goes. There's a percentage that's burned. That goes directly to the staker, Sam. So a lot of, like Bullish, for example, he don't spin the wheel ever, maybe once, but he stakes all his shit. And that might not be optimal compared to LP, but who cares? Because that's not the point always.
So how does this from a product market fit standpoint? This is effectively an online casino, and they're at the beginning stages. So there's one game that's available for people to play, and instead of all the profits going to the founders in the game, the profits get paid out to the token holders, right? So that's novel. It's unique. I think that
Sam, what do you lose when you bet in the regular world? 5%.
Self-confidence. Oh, sorry.
What? 5%. All other than that, the 5%. Off the jump, and no one even looks at it. Oh, Bullish, are you here? Can you just tell me when you come back? But let's look at this. This is a good. So these are the accepted tokens, Sam. And after the amplifier is over, all these tokens will have the same value within these betting protocols. So until that, that you get that little bonus for now, but really that just makes everyone just use BNBP instead of everything else. But in the beginning, everyone was throwing everything in there like it was nobody's business. It was all good old jolly time. And then everyone kind of, how the cycles go with that stuff. But I know the stakes are still there. I know that in the lottery, in the stakers, every month or whenever they do it, they earn a huge lottery for one of the stakers randomly. They earn a F ton that they do. It's a lot of stuff. But I like the metrics page a lot. Like I really like, and that's what I'm going to show right here. So this is the new dashboard for all statistics, and we could probably have all our points from here as far as questions that anyone would have, because it's pretty much every statistic. So let's look, Sam. What do we see here? So we got statistics for 24 hours, I'm assuming, or all time. Total volume, $14 million. Total unique wallets, 719. Luckiest winner today, 0.14% on the wheel. Highest single win, $104,000. I think that's all time.
Yeah.
And
that's $104,000 in a single fucking thing.
Yeah, sometimes the whales just go crazy and they start getting mad with each other, and I just watch it. I'm like, fuck that. But it's fun to watch people gamble in real time, because go to your local gas station. Tell me what the most yielding revenue thing that they have there is. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Lottery tickets that everyone loses on. Every single human. At least here you have a literal proper chance.
And where does the lottery money go? Into a corrupt centralized system that doesn't do diddly effing squat for you or anybody else. In this case, somebody who actually, whether you want to bet or not, I can own the tokens and I get the fees from everybody else who wants to play the games. So this is like big step forward from a lottery thing.
Dude, it's a huge, it's a giant. And I was pretty much a professional sports gambler for a year and a half. Lost the girlfriend, lost it all. You know how that goes. And I quit. I quit cold turkey. I stopped doing all of it. I just started being a good boy. And then BNBP came out. But now my options are earn money on volume. Now I can earn money on volume. Yeah, I can play with 10%. Okay. I'm not a perfect human being, but I don't care about it. Like I kind of want to lose it, kind of don't care. Kind of if I win a lot, that's cool. But like probably get tax wrecked on it. So I'm not really like, oh, I better win this wheel. Like, but over the months, if you do it a couple of times, you get some amplifier tokens. I think it's a good time. And guess what? BNB has done nothing but gone up against everything else. BNBP has done nothing but gone up against everything else. The reason Richard Hart unfollowed me was for BNBP. He said, you're shilling garbage, BNBP. And then the Zen, I guess, gave him a little pat on the ass to finish her off with the blocker. But I love this. I think this is better than what we have now. And I don't love gambling. I don't think it's a good thing for humans to do on a regular basis. But Sam, guess what? People can't hide from addiction anyway. So if you're going to do it, you better get a better deal. And then you might actually win in this particular case because you actually get the same deal as everyone else. But if you're smart, you'll probably earn money on fees and hold the tokens. That would be more of a good move because what do you do when you earn fees? If you're doing B2LP as well, you're getting WBNB. I mean, you're getting BNB, which goes up fucking nonstop and against everything, while BNBP just sticks with it. And then you have, and Sam, like today, for example, if I wanted, let's say I wanted to do a swap today. I'm going to keep saying this until people fucking get it. Say I want to do a swap today, but the gas fees are $15. But then I say, you know what? Why don't I just use all-chain bridge and go from Ethereum to WBNB since WBNB is kind of down today. And then you pay $1. And then you probably get a better asset anyway. Well, I'm not saying a better asset. I'm talking about like what people are looking for as far as diversification and price fluctuation. You know what I mean?
Was it the sound is? I'm going to shut the sound off. We hear your so the sound you guys are hearing right now is the sound of the game. Did you ask the developer behind this to shut that, give the capacity to shut that sound off?
You can shut it off, Sam. You can, but you can't do it while you share screen for some reason. But it'll take 3 minutes, so we can work through this. So, participation phase. So general, Sam, you see for today, somebody won a $2,524 pot, lowest chance, 6.5%, tokenomics, accumulated fees, $174, total burn BNBP, 7.1, total airdrop value, $130, total value, total lottery value, $9. And again, this is all for the today metrics that probably have just started. And then the all-time metrics, obviously, stake 76%, total lottery value, $4,458, total airdrop value, $16,485. Total burn BNBP, $2,042.
Let's go through this in tokenomics in just a smidge more detail to give people an understanding. You can keep that screen up there. Back to the okay, perfect. Here, let's look at this. Yes, thank you. Okay, so when we're looking through those numbers, if you're not familiar with this, having an understanding of what we're about to talk about will give you perspective about the statistics we were just looking at. So profit sharing. All decentralized games on BNBP takes a small percentage fee from the winner, right? So normally when you bet, the buyer pays the fee. In this case, the winner pays the fee, right? These fees, you should tell him this. It shouldn't be this fees. It should be these fees, right? The second sentence there.
Hey, don't patronize him. He's from the other side of the world. So
I know. I'm trying to help him out.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. These fees are used to buy BNBP from the market and distribute to our BNBP token holders. Fees are distributed in the following way. So this is what's going to make the statistics that we're just looking at make sense. So every single month, as people play the game, the winners there's a portion of the winnings that are pulled, right? 75% of those are paid as a monthly airdrop. So that monthly is a have we received that monthly airdrop yet?
You can, yes. You receive it every day. There's actually a little bit added to this now. You can actually run a function to take it out whenever you want. So
okay, so if I'm
No,
but
the airdrop.
can you talk for me? Sorry.
The airdrop is every 30 days, but you can manually trigger the function on the contract if you're willing to pay half a BNB. So you can trigger at any. Yeah. If not, you just wait for the 30 days and the contract will take care of it. But if you want to manually trigger,
so question on this. So I'm looking at mine, right, and it says airdrop reward, right? So that's what I will be receiving, but I don't actually receive this until the stake is over with, even though it says monthly.
No, 30 days.
No, you receive it
into your wallet.
You receive it every 30 days and it's liquid.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so we already received one, and what I received was liquid.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so every once in a while, Sam, just zoom on back to the webpage, and if and that's how I would do it if you were looking at it, and you'd have some BNBP there, and maybe you could play, or maybe you could sell, or maybe you can do whatever the fuck you want. But
the buy and burn, that's daily.
So why don't
okay? So this is very minimal.
Let's look at this, Sam.
It's very minimal in terms of the amount that is earned on this, at least at this moment.
I think it depends when you staked as well. Like if you were the first staker, I think it was different.
I was at the very beginning on the day 2 or something.
Well, 76% is staked, Sam. So
right.
It's like everything's staked, almost pinch the supply, but everyone's getting like the same reward.
But also keep in mind this. There's another thing to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is it's a fixed supply, right? So your percentage in the staking pool will actually increase as they're doing their burn. So as long as you're staking the same amount, since there's no more supply, as they're doing their burn, your percentage in the pool increases.
As long as other people are not adding to theirs, yes.
Correct.
Yes.
I just got look for a buy opportunity at day 100, or maybe the days before if they do a little like pre-sale on it to kind of. But again, I'm just talking. Okay, I shouldn't even say that shit anymore. But you know what I mean? Like cool opportunities around launch price, I think would be cool if that happened for me. I don't mind that shit. Like I think I sold 10% at like $25. And I didn't, it wasn't a lot at the time, I promise. It really, really wasn't. Maybe like $2,000 to $4,000. But I participated and learned about every aspect and used the thing and told everyone how to do it for free and learned everything and had a really good time with it.
And honestly, if you look at the chart, that's what most people did, because keep in mind, majority of the people got this stuff for free. If you sacrifice for Pulsepot, you essentially got this for free. So I was one of those that sacrificed and got it for free. Most of those people,
you get for free?
The BNBP.
I know, but how much was it a good rate?
Oh yeah, it was great. Like
it comes out to be about $5 a share.
Yeah. Right? So think about it.
Yeah.
And if you look at the chart at the price that it launched, some people received tens of thousands of dollars for free, essentially.
Right.
So a lot of those people.
For the viewers, right? So effectively, to give people context, you could have sacrificed for this 8-10 months ago, and when you did sacrifice, you would get, say, if you put in $5, you would get 1 BNBP. Now, at launch, you launched at $5, and within a matter of 5 days, it was selling at $10, right? So everybody got a double on what actually the rate was actually better than that. It wasn't $5.
Dude, it went down a little too. So you got to remember.
I remember at one point it was $23.
Yeah, and then
it went all the way up to $26.50. Mm-hmm. I remember. That's when I was selling. Because but I didn't sell my whole you know what I mean? I'm not just it wasn't like I brought it to the bank and I was like, this is my opportunity to make it this year. I was like, no, there's a really high valuation on this via the beginning, since this was a week and a half out. I wouldn't be buying on the top of this. I wouldn't tell anyone to buy on the top of this, but I do think it will return to that level like it's nothing. And I think that's another part of it. Give one game a launch, guys, and just
still
give
early.
Me a little DM with a little winky poo.
Yeah, it's still early. They haven't launched the other games yet, and once they launch the other games, like this is one of those products that you pretty much have to give it a year to be fully fleshed out to then really see what it can do.
And I believe that the product market fit within gambling is so sticky that it really does, and it's negative.
Gambling's not going anywhere. It's just getting
Guys, so here's
bigger
an
and bigger and
estimate.
bigger.
Here's an estimate. So the participation phase is going on right now, guys, which means you earn tokens, extra tokens, if you win the wheel. Pretty much, that's what it means. And
or refer people to the
or
platform.
a referral claim. Okay, I never have done that, but as you can see, oh come on, I should have done that. But guys,
you should have done that. It's still going on if you want to.
64,231 BNBP, and you can see the leaderboards here. There is one guy in here. I've had my battles with ODDD2F. He has defeated me many a time, as you can see with the numbers. But I can promise you, GRC is in the mix, baby.
Bro, that's 17,240 BNBP. That's $185,000.
Yes. That's half the LP pool, but that's all good. Crank that thing down, buddy, and give me the coins back that you stole from me.
And it's only 43 days. And it's
So,
only
okay,
43
so what
days.
now? Let's talk about this.
Hey, is that a Christmas celebration? How many days till Christmas?
Less than 40 days. Or yeah, what is that? 30 days from today or something?
Oh, damn. We should make this a Christmas miracle.
Well, I think that this ends. So what do you guys think, though? Because all of these players here, right? You've got 17,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, etc. All these players are going to get this BNBP on day 43. And what do you think is going to happen to the price?
I don't know. What if I sell all mine first and dump the price?
I think that the price, when this goes out to everybody, is probably going to dump, right? I mean, it would make sense.
Unless they do some trickery beforehand.
I can't wait.
And not liquidity trickery, because trust me, they ain't doing any of that. That shit's sitting in there and just sitting in there. But what they can do is some smart men with much BNBP can protect the price on the downside by selling almost, or shorting would be like, you know what I mean? Like you can only sell so much before the valuation gets too low. And so keeping it around that $10 range right now is kind of the reason I think it's sitting there, is in some anticipatory feelings towards that moment. But again, Sam, don't you forget one thing, Sam. Let's do some timing analysis here, Sam. So what, 43 days here, and that's an estimate. That can't be a real number, because that has to be an estimate, because that can change. So unless he's like doing it on that day for and just clicking the button. Sam, what do we have here though? Lots of stakes coming out in 45 days. Whoa, Sam, hold on one second. So we have 43 days over there. And what's our average here? He would be the first one, so he probably has 45 days left. So it's going to be 45 days for people that did day one. Okay, yep. So 45 days versus 43 days. Sam, we're going to be seeing some
the price dump, right? We're going to see the price. I don't know if we're going to see this. This is just
give it your guess, and then
I think that when everybody gets the rewards for referrals in the participation phase, a decent portion of those people are going to be selling, right, to capture some of the rewards that they've earned. Even if it's 5% of whatever they've earned, it's still going to have sell pressure. And then with each consecutive day after that, you're going to have stakes that are ending, right? And people are going to be like, okay, cool, I thought this was no better than what it was. And there's going to be a bunch of people who sell a portion of their stakes. That could be a very challenging time in early January.
I don't see challenge. I see very quick opportunity reversal. I see the dump, though. The dump has to occur, but the same upside potential will happen, in the product market fit will only tap that on the ass. Because I'm telling you, people buy stuff at cheap that they don't even know what the fuck it does. And they're like, oh, Hex is 3 pennies, Hex is 10 pennies, Hex is 20 pennies. I'm staking it, I'm not staking it 15 years, 20 years. Is it burned when I stake it? I don't fucking know. Who gives a fuck? Richard's the GOAT. You know what I mean? So I see product market fit. I see real humans that would go to this page regardless of any of these metrics. And that's what I want. That's what I need, users. At the end of the day, Metcalfe's law is always the law that works in crypto. That you can always change the digits, and you can always change the market cap, and you can always change the bullshit numbers that represent not what's really going on in the liquidity pools. But again, there's only $400,000 in this liquidity pool. When it gets around $100,000, I promise you people will stop selling, Sam. I promise. I promise, because it will not be worth more than what they think it's worth in the beginning, $5.
But the only way that would happen is if two things. People have to pull liquidity and or the price has to come down low enough for the value of the tokens to drop by 75%, right?
No liquidity will be pulled, Sam. I can promise you that.
So that means
that's a guess of mine. That would be.
So that means the token value would have to drop by 75%.
Too close to that launch value, in my opinion, would be right where it's going to be right around there. $5, $4.50, $5.50. That would be my guess. Is that Orca? Good morning. Hope everyone is maximizing this market, dude.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Dude, Orca. Oh my God. So much maximization over here in my pants from all these bear market good fun things that are coming out. My pants are maxed out in bulkness around my groin because I love all these product market fit. Dude, I used to gamble only a few years ago and I was getting wrecked and I still did pretty good. And so now it's like, and I don't gamble really. Like, I really want people to understand, like, my future has no gambling in it. As far as like I might talk about numbers or sports in some way in the future. I'm not sure, but come on, bro. I'm all about spiritual fitness and mental fitness. I can't do that. I know for me, I can't do that. Not for anyone else. I don't really care if other, like, people got to deal with their own shit. I've already dealt with that demon and I will not be dealing with it again. I can promise you that. And this is like, if I'm losing ROI, I'm out, period. Done. Zero. Gone. Never touch it again. But in this opportunity, it's very hard to do so because of the earliness and the understanding that I got in at a low valuation and talked to the crew. There's lots of good things going for me on this one. So let's leave this alone, Sam. I mean, come on, that's going to be fun to cover. Like,
could be a good opportunity for people who are bullish on BNBP to potentially grab more. I think that could be a very big buying opportunity for anybody that's bullish. We have a multiple catalysts to sell BNBP in early January, mid-January, with the redemption phase and the participation phase ending and stakes ending all at the same time. There will be sell pressure. It could be a great time to pick some up.
Hey, Sam, come on now. That sounded great. And that's how I'd be thinking too. We're in a bear market, guys. Imagine if some of these things with product market fit have 2 or 3 year time spans and really get some things going. You're done. You're done. And I don't have to put my whole bank account in there, Sam. I don't have to dump every dollar that I've ever made into BNBP to make it worth it for me. I can promise you that. Because I've already had an extremely amazing experience. I've gotten to talk to the founder. He's a wonderful man. He totally, you know what he told me? He said, I ain't pulling, no one's pulling liquidity. He's like, that's not real crypto. And I was like, hold up one sec. Is that product market fit in action? Is that product market fit in confidence? Product market fit is the buzzword of the day for GRC. And I'm going to keep that going because I want people to really think, why are people buying it? Is there better options? Are there safer options? Are there cheaper options? I will explore those options. And you guys, if you don't want to, you just don't. You don't really have to. You'll probably be all right without it. But this is what I want to do all the time because it's free money and shit. So Sam, this is where I want you to
famous.
I want you to be on right now, bro. Get on right now. We have a show with him later. You need to be locked in on this, Sam. Connect your wallet and trade your favorite RH ecosystem coins with up to 30x leverage. Okay, this is Sam. What do we know about centralized exchanges? People go over there to use leverage trading. 1, because of the liquidity. 2, because of how fast it is. 3, because of the leverage, right? So maybe if there was a cheap option and I don't really care about the quickness. Like a minute is fine for me, to be honest.
When I see things like this, so one of the things with options trading, right? Options trading is the same idea as leverage, right? You get massive leverage with options trading. So when you think about options trading, I didn't buy options and let them hang till expiry. I would sell the fucking options to everybody else who buy them, because if you look at empirical evidence, the vast majority, it's like high 80%, like very just close to 90% of them expire absolutely effing worthless. So I will sell that shit to you all day for $10 because I know tomorrow it's going to be worthless. And I wonder what opportunities there are here if it is decentralized to participate
And that's what I need you to figure out, sir. So we're going to read something. Should we go here?
Let's go to the FAQ. Yes.
So Sam, I want you to read for a second. I do have to run to the bathroom.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yep.
What is Famous Protocols? This is not by Famous, the dude up in.
This is Buck.
Okay, Buck. Okay, so
Famous Buck from Fiat.io.
Yeah, from Fiat, who's also a CFA.
Yeah, that's why we all want you guys to talk so bad, because he's just a jerk off like you.
Nice.
No, literally, like you guys are the same with the way you would think about certain things. And a guy like me is just like, oh, it's pompous, but it's really just you've been in that ecosystems for so long that it's like a joke almost. It's fun to listen to.
Okay, so what is Famous Protocol? A Famous Protocol, famous.io, is the next project to come from the Fiat team. It's a leverage trading platform similar to BitMEX. Bullish, can you check this in the background while I read through this? Didn't BitMEX go belly up because of the leverage? Like, maybe you should compare yourself to a dead animal potentially.
Bro, it wasn't our H coins, bro. It wasn't our H coins, bro.
Okay, well, I don't know. Somebody look up BitMEX. I think they're gone, but maybe not. But done purely on DeFi. So this could be good if it's done all on DeFi and not any centralized players here. We'll introduce it to Pulsechain and possibly other chains as well. But you should have no expectations of anything except Pulsechain. Can I try it? Yes. We have created a live demo for the Pulsechain testnet. Is available to try a testnet. Okay, scroll down a little bit more, please. Will there be a token, a SAC? Yes. A sacrifice window will be held for the FAME token, and it will be conducted in a manner similar to fiat sacrifice. Details will be released in the future. What am I sacrificing for? The freedom to let Hex haters wreck themselves betting against the RH community. We wholeheartedly support free speech, even when it is hate speech directed against the Hex community. Therefore, we believe that giving them a secure environment to short our products is the best course of action. We developed famous.io with the fundamental principles of loving thy enemy and safeguarding their rights to free speech in mind. Haters of Hex, please speak out and use our platform to demonstrate your right to free speech. Consider it a dare. By sacrificing, you believe Hex haters should be forced to live up to their words and suffer the consequences. Have no expectations of profit from the work of others. The code of Famous is complete. Nobody is employed by you. It is already done. So I guess this is already done. Why wouldn't you just launch it on Ethereum? I wonder. You know, they said it's only for Pulsechain, but like, why wouldn't you launch if the code's already done? Why isn't it launching on Ethereum?
So they mentioned that depending on when it's launched, if there's any delays, they probably will launch it on Ethereum. So they already mentioned that for fiat.io as well.
If this is already done, why are you doing a sacrifice?
Well, we'll get to ask them that later.
Cool. Right? But like, if I already have the shit done, but I don't know. We'll see what the answer is. Is leverage trading bad? Yes and no. Richard Hart rails against leverage trading because many of these services are genuinely awful as he addresses the average user in his audience. This is a more complicated question than he makes it seem. He doesn't want to mislead anyone. Trading is evil, he says, but there's more to his comment than he lets on. Here we concur. The best course of action is to hold. We hold ourselves, but to control risk. We also utilize derivatives all day, every day, right? Think Maxi or, Poly or Hedron, etc. Even Zen is a derivative of the gas price, in my opinion. Professional investors need these instruments to make amazing innovations like Hex indivisible, right? All conventional financial markets allow for the possibility of shorting assets or using leverage. For instance, farmers have used commodity futures for generations to hedge their exposure to the output of their underlying crops. This is quite practical. Otherwise, farmers will go hungry whenever there is a glut or a drought. Hexagons had a glout. What is a glout? In 2021.
Glut.
And we are glut. Thank you.
We make it bigger.
The fuck is a glut?
Glut. Is that just a run up? Is that what they mean? Like there was that was the highest price, I guess, maybe. And are currently going through.
It's like greed, like habitual greed.
Okay. So they had a glut, like a lot of greed. Joe Biden spit some truth. Do you want to finish reading through that? Bullish is watching something else in the background.
Someone said greed, and I thought about Ukraine, and that popped up.
No, that wasn't me. That was him.
Oh no! Hold on, guys, real quick. The president of our United States has something.
No. Let's finish this. Let's finish this.
Okay,
Let's finish this.
It's the funniest, man.
I know. We'll do it at the end.
All right. Here, switch it back.
Okay. Hexagons in 2020.
Orc, I know you were watching, and I know you were ready.
Hexagons had a glut in 2021 and are currently going through a drought in 2022. Wouldn't it be good to have some control over these wild movements? Clever farmers used futures to lock in their returns, and smart hexagons will too. However, a lot of people misuse derivatives. We will always make an effort to inform and describe risks. Leverage trading will continue to be conducted whether Famous.io is launched. Some platforms like SBF FTX, CeFi, and those with murky, unaccountable owners are worse than others. Our platform is true DeFi with everything. So I want to know what their token is going to be like. Is the token going to be like BNBP, where you get the actual, if I have the token, do I get the benefit of the system? Do I get the fees from the system, right?
So let me pull that up for you.
Cool. Is that okay? Middleman D. No, you are in D. Okay. Does this mean you're sucking middleman D? No, you are indeed the middleman since you are the famous token holder staker. Each time users trade, as well as every time they gain or lose, the traders are paying you fees. Would you like to act as an intermediary as opposed to a trader? Excellent. Do so by acquiring fame or providing FLUFF. Well, I don't know what FLUFF is, but I hate leverage trading. It's a bad idea. I prefer income. Wonderful. You might enjoy the revenue generated by staking fiat, fame, and FLUFF.
I want you to know what
So FLUFF is famous LP. That's their LP token.
Oh, so this is going to be V2, obviously, then.
Well, we're not. You can't.
Well,
you can
at the
only
moment,
plan for
remember,
what you know. I guess.
At the moment, there's no V3. So.
Yeah, like you can't plan for V3. That's like what
as far as when it comes to Pulsechain.
Fucking, what are we going to be like 2027 moving over to V3 on Pulsechain? Like,
but the tokenomics will break it down. So you can.
But I want to know if providing liquidity between the token on Uniswap would be more favorable than staking it on the protocol. Would be interesting.
Although we don't trade regularly, platform fees are a wonderful source of income. APY will fluctuate, but frequently double digit on other platforms like Famous. Interesting. So staking here. Okay. So the Fame is the utility and governance token. The goal of the tokenomics is to incentivize the protocol supporters and help long-term growth of the community. Staking. Staked Fame will receive 40% of the platform fees from leverage trades and swaps. The fees are currently designed to be paid in the form of native tokens that are actually traded and settled on the platform. So what this means, if I'm understanding this correctly, that if you're swapping between wrapped Bitcoin and Ethereum, then you will have the fees you earn from holding Fame paid in those tokens, I think is what it might be here. The form of the native tokens. The tokens are actually traded and settled on the platform. On Testnet, they would be, so this is exactly how it's settled. Hex, Pulse, USDC. This might change should the community demand so. For example, native token fees can be partially converted into Fame. By the way, remember when BNBP came out and I was like, hey guys, we're going to see more and more communities doing exactly this, that the fees are going to be paid out to people?
Because it's just smart, right?
Yeah, I'm not just going to say.
Why do you think they do it?
Okay,
well, just tell them. Why do you think that they're trying to get better and better with these kind of intimate staking protocols benefiting the users?
Well, because think about this. People are like, I want to retire. I don't want to work my job. Well, that is a very simple question. If you have $3,000 that you spend every single month to live, then all you just need to do is replace that income. Now, if you buy rental property, right? It's very simple. Very, very simple. You know,
Sam, don't hurt people. Okay,
so
with your math.
With current protocols, you have the price go up, right? But that is something that people don't want to wait for. They want income, right? Like a rental property, right? Like dividends, right? Like these things. So if you have a protocol that pays out on a monthly or weekly basis or something, you're effectively mimicking what is happening in the real world with, say, bonds, with dividends, with rental property.
Are they giving people better options than the legacy system has, and then now even better options than early DeFi had given us?
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to see a continue of this. I guarantee we're going to see more of this.
Wait, so Sam, if you think that, then you think some things might have things that are better than them than currently exist at the moment? Okay, hold on one second, Sam. You're hurting me. Now you're hurting me because I have bags, okay? So I have these bags and these other coins, right? And if they don't go up, that's my only shot. So I need you to talk about them very nicely and not say anything critical about them, please, because I'm a biased bag holder with staker syndrome.
So
no, but seriously, that's what it feels like when I'm trying to learn and like grow, and people are just like, stop learning. Like that's like there's a meme going around that I always ask people to teach me stuff, and that's their new meme. It's like, teach me, GRC, teach me stuff. I'm like, yeah, I want to learn shit. What the fuck?
The other thing that I would, so remember at the top here, it says 40% of platform fees are paid out to these, right, from trades and swaps. Okay, cool. But what makes a DEX successful? Liquidity. You have to have liquidity. So if you have V3, and on V3 I can do concentrated liquidity, and over here you can't do concentrated liquidity, and I only get 60% of the fees, like, please go ahead, test it out, but like, I want to make money. And if, like, you know what I mean, like, right, like, it just, you know what I mean, I would rather make more money, period.
Well, you're weird, but like, yeah, you're right, and you're weird, but yeah, you're willing to look at it really, but in general, yeah, there's a happy place in the middle where people are making as much as they're earning with their jobs without really doing much. You're doing a little more than what I would want, like my bro or like my sister, my sister's got much more money than me, much. I don't really actually know that to be certain, but like, she does a lot of work and has a lot of business and all that shit. And I'm telling you, if V3 LP is not on my to-do list for telling her what to do. Like, so if you're new,
you're right,
just understand there's really optimal ways to kind of use your time and energy to make really, really, really sickening gains. But then there's like a middle place, like V2, we'll call it, pancake swap, something like that, where you can park, maybe you have kids running around doing the whole jam. So there's a lot of nuance there, but I want to know, Sam, so we have a centralized exchange, we have fiat.io, and then we have PulseX, right? Why would I pick one versus the other? That's kind of what my brain is telling.
So let's dive into that a little bit more, and then we'll read more.
And we have a show later with Buck, and we're going to publish that. So guys, we're prepping for that right now.
Correct. Okay, so that's which should be tonight. You said around 4 to 5.
4 to 5 p.m. We're starting, and Buck is on the other side of the world, so that's the only.
Okay, no, that works. That works for me. Okay, so let's understand why one might use, say, one DEX versus another DEX, right? Well, first of all, you have the novelty of the DEX. Something like Curve.fi is better option for less slippage, right? So slippage is a factor, right? Well, what's another one? Liquidity. You have to have liquidity providers, right? Who provides liquidity? I do. I'm not going to go to where I earn less fees versus where I can earn more fees, right? And then where's the user is going to go where the liquidity is, right? So you have to incentivize the two players to come together. People who are going to provide liquidity and people who don't want a lot of slippage, right? Because if there's lower, as we know, Lower liquidity means you pay more in slippage when you're doing a swap here. So you want to incentivize both of those pieces to come together. So what is the fee for the swap on here? Maybe we'll get into here. We're going to get into their LP token in the second year. But this is, I mean, it's interesting. I like DEXs. I think that their DEXs are very cool. But
I'm worried about fees, and I want to. But that's what I need to know, because why do people use DEXs?
Let's finish this. We're gonna ask him all those questions later on.
Yeah. You're right.
Rules.
And I talked to him in the Spaces one-on-one for about an hour yesterday, or 20 or 30 minutes actually. And then, so if you guys want to go back and prep, that's the place to do it, because this testnet page, all this website launched today.
So let's read through this, and then we'll see. This will be like, if you guys want to catch it, tomorrow's show is going to be at 11 a.m.
I don't know 100% sure. But
no, that's exactly how it's going to work. We're pre-recording it due to,
we're working. We're trying to learn that too.
And we'll have it, but we'll probably be in the comments tomorrow, even though we're
premiering it tomorrow.
I'll be sitting right here, and then I'll be streaming at 1. I won't be able to not do it. Probably.
If 100% of the tokens are staked, then 100% of the net fees will be distributed to the stakers in the native currencies. If X percentage of the tokens are not staked, then X percentage of the net fees will be distributed to the treasury address. The treasury will use the collected fees to benefit the protocol and community, similar to the design of fiat treasury. The FLUFF token is the PHLP token. Users can provide liquidity to famous protocol and receive the LP token here in return as proof of their LP position, which is like how V2 works, right? The FLUFF token effectively represents a basket of tokens used for swaps and trading on the protocol. The basket includes stablecoins used for leveraged short trading and non-stable tokens used for leveraged long trading. The PHLP can be minted using any underlying token within the basket and redeemed to any underlying token too. PHLP can also be properly transferred and traded, meaning it has true interoperability that can be built with other DeFi Legos. So that'll be an interesting thing to ask him about. Sounds like if you have a PHLP token and you got that through providing liquidity of like Hex and USDC, that you could trade that in for Ethereum. That read through, and that's how I interpreted that, but I could be wrong. Holding PHLP acts similar to holding the basket of the underlying tokens as a portfolio, while earning fees from protocol, but subject to impermanent loss. PHLP holders will receive 60% of the protocol fees. PHLP holders make profit when leveraged traders make a loss, and versus vice versa. So 60% goes out to these guys, 60% goes out to the other token holders. Interoperability between famous DEX protocol and fiat lending protocol, PHLP, can be used as collateral on fiat while receiving fees on famous protocol, increasing capital efficiency. So you definitely need something like this, because V2 is not capital efficient, right? V3 is capital efficient. This is interesting. So this is what the actual DEX looks like. It looks like you can do leverage. I want to know how the fees work. If I can make more money, that's where I'll move my money. If I don't make more money, then why would I use it, right? Like that's how I think.
That's a big piece.
And I'm not saying
in the future, Sam, people are going to have more understanding of this stuff. I think like it took a while, but we're getting there.
What does it say anywhere what the fee is to trade or swap or use leverage?
Well, I don't know if that can be necessarily calculated. I know it's lower, but like because it's probably their fee structure because they're using their stuff, and I don't know how but that's one of the questions I'm definitely going to be. All those questions will be answered
at the bottom. It's right here at the bottom. Hold on, let me zoom in.
So there's a
testnet fee, so you could probably just.
So if you're doing long, it'll tell you what the long is.
So there's a borrowing fee. So there might be multiple fees, which could compensate enough for having V2 versus V3 concentration potentially, which might be interesting, right? Because the fee will change. Yeah, go ahead, click 30x or whatever, and see what it comes out to be. So this will be interesting having the leverage from the return standpoint. So $10,000, $100,000, $1 million here, but you're in the long at about 30x, so you're going to get the exposure of $3 million roughly, or $30 million. I apologize, $30 million here is going to cost you $150 in fees here. And so what is that? I want to know what it is percentage, right? Because on V3, it's like 0.3% on most things. It looks like it's might be different here. You know what I mean? The borrowing rate is 0.00018, right? Or 00. I'm sorry. The borrowing fee is calculated as assets borrowed divided by total assets in pool times 0.01% per hour. Okay, so this is a rate per hour, which is interesting. Position fee, 0.1% of position size. Okay, so this could also be cheaper for people to trade, right? That's one thing that people look at. Is it cheap? Let's take a look here. Let's try any amount here. You got $100,000. Let's see what it is here. Oh, fees are much higher here. So this is shorting $3,000. It costs $3,000 to short something for an hour. Right? Is that accurate?
Well, I don't know how the test again. The test.
We'll get into those specifics with him because again, this is like the first time you guys are really digging into it.
Right.
But this is good. We're asking these questions now because we'll ask them, later on.
I have all the ideas that I kind of want to work through with him and you in my head already.
Check the fees in this bullish. It doesn't say, right? Oh, up above that, right there, fees. What is it right below the USDC thing? Does it say? It says 0.42%, right? 0.42% is the fee to do a standard trap. So here's the other thing, right? And I love DEXs. I love liquidity. As I talked about it earlier today, but 0.42%. Would you like to go to a market and pay 0.42%, or would you like to go to a market and pay 0.3% or less if you use stable coins and you use other DEXs, right? Let's see if it changes for the swap. I think the standard swap fee is 0.42%, which is expensive. Like that's, I don't know. What bullish? What are your thoughts on this?
This is not my world, so I'm like, what I like about it is the same thing I like about BNBP and the other stuff. I can sacrifice, take my coins, stake it, provide LP, earn fees, and not have to really think about it. And let everyone else who understands this and is going to put money and capital into this, let them do all that stuff and I'll collect the fees. That's like me personally.
And I like to use these things as a tool because if there's sometimes the fee structure is better, sometimes their incentives are better than using Uniswap like regular. And that's kind of what I would look for, right? Why would I go to a centralized exchange? Well, one, it's quicker. One, I can do it with all my coins right away and I can send it away. And yes, it does. Sometimes there's some trickiness in there, but there's some benefits in there too. So that's why people use centralized exchanges. There's many a reason to send your money. All-chain bridge is kind of blowing through that paradigm too. So like I got to look more into all.
Hover over that fees for a second, Bo. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 1700 number just above Connect Wallet. So hex is required for collateral. Swap test pulse to hex for free of
Let me zoom in.
Thank you. Okay. 376. So this is just the swap fee is point. And what's what was the USD value? Oh, it's test pulse, so we don't know. So 376, and then the position fee is 0.1% of position size, and that's per hour, I think. How that's calculated. I don't know if the fees are high enough for people to make more money. You're like, okay, that's cool as a liquidity provider. That's what I want, right? But what do users want? Low fees, right? But they also want the capacity to be able to do things like this, right? Some users do. Correct. Some users want to be able to use leverage. I like leverage in fiat not in crypto personally, but I'm not saying that it's wrong or bad or anything. I just don't, I don't like leveraging crypto unless I'm using it from fiat into crypto. This is cool. I'm really looking forward to that show a little bit later. If you guys are, make sure you press the bell notification for tomorrow. That's going to be a great show at 11 a.m. If you want to get in on owning a DEX, you want to be able to have tokens that are paid a fee, right? Paid a fee to own them. That'll be tomorrow morning, more than likely at 11 a.m. EST. You can check us out on Twitter down below. Bullish, GRC, myself, all big on Twitter over there, spending a lot of time. We have a lot of stuff on LP. I have a lot of stuff on my channel. We've talked about it on here many, many times. I have a playlist that's probably 2 or 3 hours long. If you want to really dive deep into that stuff, you can check out that playlist.
And just remember, learn first, guys. The V3LP is really a learn first vibe for me. It was ETHPal made it easy for me because I had no transaction fees and I was just spending $100 or so. So I had a little master course, but I believe you can still do that. Hey, All Chain Bridge brought up has ETHW again. So if you use that, you can go right over there and use that. So, and I'm not advising that you go on ETHW at all or buy anything over there. But as far as V3 liquidity providing, you can actually learn for like no fees. And I don't care about the money when I'm doing it, or at least at the time. Yeah, I was gaining money, I think, like fractionally, but I was just like really trying to click through it as much as I could because that's how I learn. Reps. I need reps. Like some people maybe just need a little like look through see, but right now I'm in the rep range and I like to have time under tension with these things. So let's get out of here, guys. Crypto in the Morning live every single day. Be grateful, emotional fitness. Remember, not everyone's here for the best interest of you, sir. And that's not me. That's not Sam. No one's here for me. No one's here for Sam. We're all here because there's opportunity on the internet. We're all here because we like scaling our businesses. And me and Sam believe that we're pretty good at research and like being unbiased. And I couldn't find any unbiased information about cryptocurrency on the internet other than Richard Hart. And then he did the flip-flopper. So it's now I was like, this is what I want on the internet. And if I can't find it, I'm going to get it. And Sam was already doing stuff. Guys, unbiased, detailed, clinical information every single day, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll talk to you. Get on our Twitters, hit it up. Have a great day. And say hi to your family and be a nice person.
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
We ain't on pause.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're here to take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
We ain't on pause.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're here to take notes.
Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hacks and I'm making a stay. Got me some hedge on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way.
D5 Pro. Yeah.
Crypto in the morning.